on the PDF Sports Network. A very exciting night for us, and we are, of course, very excited to bring you our pregame show presented by the Brownstone Bar and Grill, one of our great sponsors, a great sponsor of the Bearcats as well.
All right, Joe, before we go and speak to a couple of Bearcats personnel and Stampede personnel, let's talk a little bit about what to expect here tonight.
Well, Dave, there's a lot to expect tonight in terms of things we haven't yet seen before. A different style of football, of course, different width of the field, different length of the field, different scoring rules. A lot of new things to expect here tonight in AAL2 football. But we'll take a look and learn a bit more about the AAL2. Their inaugural season back in 2018. The league was sold following the 2021 season and relaunched under new ownership. We'll talk with one of the owners later and talk more about the new owners of the AAL later. 8 teams will play an 8-game regular season. That season starts for these two teams here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You could see on your screen the AAL started in 2018. Of course, there was COVID that derailed things a bit. And then, Joe, the league changes ownership. AAL2 is a byproduct of a new vision set by a couple of people who are on the field here tonight, A.J. Roque and Jermaine Sanders. We'll talk to both of them as well. See the teams in the AAL2 on your screen. 8 of them in total now. The Cali Gold are a ninth team. They're a showcase team that won't figure into the league this year. And then you also see on your screen the Houston Maulers. They're a provisional team this year. They will not factor into the standings this season, so it'll be just those 8 teams minus the Houston Maulers. So the 7 teams will battle for 4 playoff positions, Joe.
A big step towards growth as a team is a championship. You said it. 7 teams vying for a championship in the AAL2 this year. And at some point, the Jersey Bearcats could be vying for one of those spots in a championship. We hope to be a part of something special. We certainly are a part of something special here tonight. Of course, the team hopes to take it a step further and put themselves into the championship conversation. But we've gotten a close-up look at what the Bearcats have done in preparation ahead of today's game, and I think it's fair to say they've done everything they can to make sure they're ready for their matchup with the Stampede tonight, both in terms of their on-field preparation and the atmosphere here in this building.
All right, we'll talk a little bit more about both of these teams and what to expect as we roll through our pregame show. What we will do is step aside, hear a word from some of our sponsors. Stay with us.
This broadcast is being brought to you by Pioneer Sports Incorporated, providing quality programs to underserved communities, providing team owners with support and tools to run quality programs. Visit them at pioneersportsinc.com or call 609-658-7532. And by DJ Willie Will of Spectra Sunshine Sounds. DJ Willie Will is part of the Spanish Harlem Street Jocks. Contact Willie Flores for the best DJ services at your next event. Call 212-987-4425 or email scbanton40@yahoo.com.
Burgers are better at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
My weekend starts with the Brownstone burger, topped with cheddar, barbecue sauce, and a fried egg.
Give me the Hawaiian burger. I love the Canadian bacon and sweet pineapple.
How do you like your salads? Shrimp, chicken, beef?
Stop in and see why families are eating good at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
Welcome back, everybody, to Bearcats football here. We apologize. We had some terrible internet connectivity, but we're on our backup system, and we are getting set to go here with our opening kickoff. Our teams are collected. You didn't miss much, just 2 minutes remaining in the pregame. We have our national anthem that will go on now, so we will step aside, and when we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff here as we pause for our nation's anthem. Welcome back here to Waranenko Sports Center in Roselle, New Jersey. The Jersey Bearcats open up the 2023 AAL2 season against the visiting Steel City Stampede. The Stampede in their road white jerseys with black trim, black pants. And the Jersey Bearcats in all black, white trim, and red pinstriping as well. The teams will get together at midfield for tonight's ceremonial coin toss. We understand that we missed much of the pregame for those of you at home, but Joe and I went over some of the rule sets, which we will review as the game goes on later today. We talked to AJ Roque, head coach, co-owner of the Jersey Bearcats, and also co-owner of the AAL and AAL2 as well. During pregame, we spoke to Steph Colon, and we spoke to Stampede head coach and owner Matt Santiago. So got a pretty good idea of what to expect today. The Steel City Stampede, a team that just came together a few weeks before the season. A lot of players from different arena leagues and teams all coming together to form the Stampede. Bearcats are expecting a good one, but they have been a polished unit and refining that polish. And as AJ Roque said, big hopes for today. In just a few moments, I'll be joined alongside Joe Foreman, who will join me on the broadcast. We will break this one down and get you ready here for the next 60 minutes of football, arena football, 15-minute modified running clock. We'll have a clock stoppage on changes of possession, turnovers, and scores. Talk about some of the rules with balls going out of bounds and out of play. Balls are dead once they hit any part of the facade or any part of equipment here. And it looks like the Bearcats have won the toss. They are going to receive and will go from right to left on your computer screen. I want to thank everybody in the Jersey Bearcats organization and at Waranenko Sports Complex for having us here. First of 5 games on PDF Sportsnet for the Jersey Bearcats' inaugural season in the AAL2. One of the Bearcats captains, Joey Ramirez, number 88, shaking hands with the opposite bench, of course, Steph Colon, the other big-time captain. So the Bearcats lining up. They play 8-on-8 here in arena football. We'll mention how the offense and defenses must line up as we go as well. This is our first arena game on PDF Sports Network. And first of many, we hope. So 15 minutes on the clock as we get set. Ball is live on the kickoff. Looks like Rich Adams might be kicking it. We will see on the Stampede's end. Actually, looks like lining up to take the kick will be Mitchell Aponic. He's listed as the kicker, number 25 for the Stampede. Joe, welcome into the broadcast from the pregame show.
Well, thank you, Dave. We had to scramble a bit. You mentioned it. The internet was giving us some issues right before kickoff. We have navigated that successfully. It appears as if our connection level is in the green, and that's what we like to see ahead of kickoff as we are set to get underway in this AAL2 season opener for both the Bearcats and the Stampede. This is one we've been looking forward to for a long time.
Absolutely, and the crowd has been collecting as well. We've got a nice crowd opposite us that's standing room only, but here in front of us we have just about a packed house. As Mitchell Aponic will get set, and a couple Bearcats back deep to collect, including Sadiq Nathaniel. It goes in his direction. He fields it at the 5, up past the 15 and the 20, and is down near midfield. So the Bearcats will have half the field to contend with on their opening drive.
Nice start for the Bearcats on that return as the return man was able to stumble out across midfield. That was Sadiq Nathaniel, wide receiver and defensive back for the Bearcats, and We didn't get to talk about it during the pregame, but a very familiar face at quarterback for Jersey.
Yeah, Steph Cologne, who we know from the Harlem Gators in the EFA that we covered in the summer and fall months. Now part of the inside game here in Arena. Steph Cologne, of course, calling the shots. And A.J. Roque, also on your screen in the corner. He is the head coach. And the coaches are allowed to be on the field in Arena. They just must be at least 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. 3 wide. We will certainly see lots of men in motion. That's Pete Savridis. Gets a running start. And they're going to look to go down the field in the direction of Savridis. And it was broken up. Nice defensive play by Fisher.
Bearcats taking a shot early. Half the length of the field, not quite as far as it is in a regulation game. The field 50 yards long, 85 feet wide. That was something we were going to highlight in our pregame show. But very nice crowd assembled here as well, Dave, and they are very close to the action.
Yeah, absolutely. Up close and personal, and as are the players on the benches as well. We noted the fans on the opposite side that are right on the glass, like a hockey game here as they play on a modified hockey rink. The ice was melted down on April 1st, and since then the Bearcats have been practicing here. Here we go, 2nd and 10, and the give is underneath, and powering ahead, plenty of room at the 15, the 5 getting away, and knocked out at the 5 is Kyle Ward.
Big tackle at the end of that play by the Stampede, but that's something you don't get to see in a regulation football game. Here in Arena, you can get that running start in the backfield, and it paid dividends on that last play.
And the Bearcats want to go quickly here inside the red zone, 1st and goal. Ball spotted officially at the 7-yard line. Cologne, shotgun, perhaps looking corner, now rolls to the right, running out of real estate, throws it back of the end zone, and that one hits the glass and is out of play. It'll be 2nd down and goal.
And the pads have come dislodged down in that corner. They'll attend to that.
Well, I get the sense we're going to see that a few times in today's game. But better the pads than that hard boards that the hockey players are used to. So the ball is officially spotted at the 9-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and goal from inside actually about the 7-yard line. I was looking at the 8-yard soccer box. Got a little confused there, as there'll be indoor soccer here as well. The give underneath again. That is going to be closer to the goal line, about the 3-yard line, as Ward, I believe, got the carry again. No, is that number 2? Nope. Not sure. That was number 9, Nasir Adams, who will play a little bit of defense as well.
Keep in mind, the yard markers every 5 yards here in Arena, so when a team gets down near the goal line, it's about maybe 40% of the way across the field.
3rd and goal from the 2, 11-10 remaining first quarter. Cologne barking out signals. He's got Stacks to the left side. Coming in motion is Savridis again. They leave the right side exposed. Cologne himself underneath. Does he break the plane? No official signal yet, Joe. Touchdown.
First touchdown of the season for Jersey goes to Stephen Cologne. And we don't often see him run an EFA play, but very early he gets a carry and he makes the most of it as he takes it in for the first 6 points of the Jersey season.
10:51 remaining first quarter. The Bearcats go 24 yards to pay dirt. They're up 6-0, and they're going to go for 1 here as Anthony Storigo, the kicker, will try to get his left foot into 1 here. Try to make this a 7-point game before the Stampede get a turn on offense. The hold is down. That one's blocked, and it can be returned the other way. It's a foot race. It is picked up finally, and now we have a whistle. Whistle stops play as we will see what the official call is. The try is no good, and they're going to rule the ball dead, perhaps because it got touched the other way. I'm not quite sure, Joe. I know those can be returned for 2 points the other way.
Was it an illegally batted ball? We've seen that before.
It could be. Maybe.
I didn't see that infraction on that particular play.
Right. As he was trying to pick up the ball, perhaps that was the call, and that's when the whistle came in. In any event, no matter what, the Bearcats are going to have a 6-0 lead and kickoff coming up. The coach is getting an official explanation on the field of play. But good job by the Stampede to interrupt that kick, Joe.
No question. And now, something you have to keep in mind here in arena football, the ceiling is a factor on kicks. You cannot elevate the ball as high on a kick attempt, and that could play a big role in some kicks being blocked throughout this game. Also keep in mind that on free kicks, aka kickoffs, if the kicker is able to put the ball through the uprights, that is 1 point for the kicking team. It is also 1 point for the kicking team if the receiving team receives and possesses the ball in the end zone but does not make it out. So there are ways to earn points on kickoffs for the kicking team. That's something to keep in mind as the Bearcats will have their first kickoff of the season right here.
No doubt about it. And, of course, these low ceilings, of course, prevent that uno from happening here on these kickoffs. Unless you get a rocket line drive kick. But that one will skip off the turf a number of times. Having to retreat, live ball. Sean Jackson picks it up. He sprints out to the 15. He's taken down at about the 18-yard line. Shakur Hamilton with the return. We have number 2 18s on our roster, but that was Shakur Hamilton.
Jackson was a late scratch off of our roster just before we came on the air here today.
Should have known better. Jackson listed as a quarterback.
Some quarterbacks can really move.
Some quarterbacks do it all. Line up at quarterback, linebacker, start kicking sometimes. We've seen quarterbacks punt. And Stampede will play tight here. In motion is Stewart. The pass is to the left side. Shedding one tackler and getting to the 20. The 15-10 foot race touchdown for the Stampede. Nathan Beamer takes it to the house.
What a start for Steel City. They drew the attention of the defense perhaps a bit into the backfield, maybe toward the other sideline. That is as simple a pitch and catch as you have, a quick stick route within just a couple of yards of the line of scrimmage, and Beamer takes it all the way for 6. Great job there by Beamer. Good execution by the Stampede, and they are on the board for the first time tonight.
Excellent job. You'll get another look at it on your screen, and you could see the shedding of the tackle. The Bears going high on a few of those tackles, and Beamer was having none of it. 9:18 remaining first quarter. The score is tied at 6. And Panek will come in to kick the one-pointer. That one gets up and is no good. It ended up to the left of the post. Score remains 6-6.
This action has a different pace to it, Dave. Much smaller field and very early, 2 explosive plays.
Yep, and you know that tackling will be a factor. Joe, that was just a simple pitch and catch, 5 yards down the field, and Beamer did the rest thanks to a couple of missed tackles, and that's how you score 6 in arena football.
Tackling going to be very important in this game. Less bodies out there on the field. When you have a chance to bring a man down, you have to make the most of it. You don't have as much help as you would on a traditional 100-yard field.
That's right. Sometimes you are on an island out there. So the kickoff upcoming. Referees get set here. Bearcats and Stampede. Still early on first quarter. We're about midway through.
Just 7 minutes gone by in this first quarter. Already 12 points. Now, if you're a fan of offense and you've only tuned into football here on PDF, you're going to see a lot of scoring here tonight, especially if these first few minutes are any indication.
This time they go left side, and having to retreat is Ward. Ward needs to get on that, needs to advance it past the end zone. He does. Foot race and is clanked into the boards at about the 12-yard line. Good tackle. And that's part of the tackling philosophy, Joe. As long as you get them to the boards, not under their own power. That is officially out of bounds. So just as good as an open field tackle.
The 9th man on defense is the boards, Dave. That was very well said, and right there, Stampede making use of those boards to ensure that the Bearcats didn't get any more on that kick return. We saw them take the first kick return in this game out across the 25, which is midfield. Keep that in mind. The red zone is 40% the length of the field. The 20-yard line is almost midfield here in arena football.
Right. So ball at about the 12, 13-yard line here. Should mention these lines on the field were put down this afternoon. So they are as fresh can be. First time that Waranenko has the football lines on their field here over the spring and summer months. Cologne looking left side in the boards and taking a big hit before getting dropped down was Dante Owens.
Both Lewis and Fisher there defensively for the Stampede on that play. And once again, some pre-snap action. This time the wide receiver moving to Cologne's left, and the defense stayed home on that play. A very similar style play there by Jersey, trying to throw that quick stick route. Good discipline by the defensive backs for the Stampede.
So ball at about the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Nasir Adams in the backfield this time with Cologne. Running start for Ward. Cologne looking that side of the field, and the catch is made. And down there promptly, I believe that was Ward, and it was. First down inside of Stampede territory at about the 12.
Cologne to Ward for a nice gain. First down, Jersey. We've seen a nice mix of play calling from the Bearcats early in this game.
And nice to see Cologne with a nice pocket in front of him, Joe. Not under duress there, was able to survey the field. I believe Ward was his go-to guy the entire way, but allowed Ward to make a move and get across the field. 1st and 10 from the 12 for the Bearcats. Once again, it is Ward in motion. Cologne looks middle of the field. He gets dropped in the backfield, and that pass goes incomplete.
Once again, Cologne looking for Ward on that play. Had him on a crossing route on the previous throw. That time a bit of a post, or a skinny post over the middle as they took a shot for the end zone on first down. That falls incomplete, and it will be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and that's the difference between pressure and no pressure, Joe. That time Cologne had the pressure, had to release a little bit earlier, almost on Ward's break, but I think he would have liked to have found Ward more near the corner of the end zone. Instead, had to release a little earlier than he wanted to. 2nd and 10. Clock runs here in arena football. We are down to about 4:30 remaining in the first quarter. Cologne back to pass again. Middle of the field. That'll be a pass interference. Ward wanted it, and getting in there a little too early was Lewis.
Well, very early on, it's clear who the number 1 target is for Steph Cologne. He's looked for Ward on 3 consecutive plays, and that time, Ward able to draw the flag. He's commanding a lot of attention in that Stampede secondary.
So they will walk this one off here. And that ball be placed at the 3-yard line. So looks like it'll continue to be 2nd down. Actually, it's 1st down. And if that's a 1st down, it's 1st and goal, Joe. At least that's what the sticks say. However, the yard marker still has the 1st down at about the 2-yard line. We'll get that sorted out. The give is underneath, and a clear path to the end zone. Does he get in? Looks like no official signal yet. Touchdown! Nasir Adams goes in right side, and the Bearcats get the touchdown back.
Adams once again getting work down around the goal line. On the first drive, it was Cologne. This time, it is Adams with the score. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns for Jersey. Nice start for them offensively. They've gotten it done on the ground and through the air to this point.
Yeah, and inside the red zone, if you will, in arena football, inside the 10, 5-yard line, the Bearcats electing to run the football, and they've had success. First with Cologne and then Adams. Storigo will come on to try for the point after here. Try to give the Bearcats a full 7-point lead. We are 12-6, 2:40 remaining in the first quarter. Clock is continuing to run. Storigo takes his steps. The hold from Nathaniel. Storigo gets it up and good. Nope. There's a penalty. It looks like roughing the kicker. Kick was good. I would assume this will be declined, Joe, and the point will stand.
Storigo soaked that one in after he took that hit, popped right back up, and joined in on the celebration over at his bench, as that will give Jersey 13. Our score 13-6. Jersey with the lead over Steel City, and that is our first kick through the uprights of the Bearcats season, and that one went in off the ceiling netting and then through the uprights. Right. You can make a kick that way.
Yes, that's right. In this case, the netting, I believe, in front of the goalposts rather than behind, so that one counts. It's, you know, we've said it so many times in the outdoor game, Joe, how important it is to have a field goal kicker, how it changes the complexion of the game, and down by 7 instead of 6, it does change the way you strategize down the stretch.
Well, you said it before, Dave. I think with the way that this facility is constructed, we're not going to see many kicks reach the end zone, certainly not reach the goalposts on kickoff. So you can't get that point here on kickoffs as easily, if at all. That makes extra points that much bigger.
Right. And attending some of the Bearcats practices, they do practice skipping the ball on the turf a lot on kickoffs. Of course, because the ball is live. Once it passes 10 yards, it is live for both teams to play.
Now, we saw on the last kickoff the ball skip all the way into the end zone. Jersey was forced to return it from inside their own end zone, putting them, of course, at risk of that uno that we described earlier.
Back deep is Stewart, but it will be played on a hop, it looks like, by Hamilton. Hamilton goes right up the middle, breaks one tackle, but then is swarmed on at about the 20. So good starting field position for the Stampede.
Now, we've seen more than one drive already starting in plus territory in this game, but is that advantage offense or advantage defense? You have less room to work with as you move across midfield here in the arena game. The traditional red zone, 20 yards, and right here the Stampede will start at the 20-yard line. Also not as wide of a field, so that definitely plays a role. Now, there are only 8 players out there, but you'd have to think some offense is perhaps a bit more comfortable with some more room beyond that secondary.
And that is the horn for the first quarter. And so they will switch sides, and we will go to quarter number 2 here. In our final version of this game, you will hear from some of our sponsors in between these breaks. So we'll go to one of our...
This broadcast is being brought to you by the Three Bleezies Entertainment Group on the Three Bleezies Facebook page. Catch the Three Bleezies weekly show, as well as live recordings, and all the opinions and the unfiltered hot topics you've come to love about semi-pro. It's the resource for semi-pro football and more, from the official source for all things Bleezy. The Three Bleezies Facebook page. Visit and follow now. Mundo, yeah, yeah.
Back to live action here. Fresh 15 minutes on the clock. Got to hear from the Three Bleezies, one of our sponsors. We have a lot of them tonight to get to. We'll get to a lot of them at halftime as well. There's a fumble, a snap, and it is gotten onto. Good heads-up play by Keem Stewart, the running back. A loss on the play. The first fumbled exchange. We don't see a lot of under-center snaps, Joe, but the Stampede have been operating that way.
Well, we saw a very tight set to open the game, another one there, and that could cause some issues like that, where a snap may be botched, and right there, the Stampede fall victim to that scenario. They do get on top of it. Big play by Stewart, as if he doesn't get on that ball cleanly, there were a lot of black jerseys in the area.
Yeah, it certainly looked like the quarterback didn't know where the ball was. There's another pass out into the flat and out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. So it'll be about 3rd and long here. We have number 5 as Lamage Northen on our roster. Not sure if that is Lamage, but the quarterback that we had listed on our roster is Caleb Walton for the Stampede. But the roster we were given says Lamage Northen at quarterback, so we're going to go with that. Running start, Northen looking middle of the field. That one's caught. Touchdown! Stampede! Manny Stewart brings it in.
And that's as good looking of a play on offense as we've seen all game. The receiver beats the defensive back cleanly. That was Stewart. And putting it on the money was Norton. A great looking pass and catch. That one covered nearly half the length of this 50-yard field, and the Stampede are on the board with their second touchdown.
And that came on 3rd down and 7 or 8. And now a chance to tie the game up here for Aponic. His second attempt here at a PAT, missed the first. Point after attempts can be faked as well for 2 points. And Aponic picks it up, wanted to run it himself. That one is lateral. Was that a forward? No, it was not. Either way, though, down on the play is Rich Adams. Point after attempt, no good, and the Bearcats remain ahead 13-12.
Well, you were about to say it, Dave. PATs can be faked. That was no such occurrence.
Right.
As that snap was muffed by the holder, who then attempted to throw a forward pass. That was definitely a forward pass attempt, and it was the first forward pass attempt of that particular play, so that was legal, and that very easily could have gone for points the other way.
Absolutely. Louis Matrone with the good looks on the camera tonight. Shout out to Lou on camera, and of course, Andrew Rotundo working the replays, and our engineer tonight. Want to thank those guys and all of PDF Sports for helping us out here tonight. 11:56 and counting remaining in the first half here from Waranenko Sports Complex. Both teams have scored on their opening 2 drives of the game, 13-12. And Joe, in the pregame, both Coach Roque and Santiago said they wanted to dominate. They felt like they could dominate, and we're seeing a lot of offensive domination.
I was about to say, Dave, the offensive play certainly has lived up to that so far. 4 drives, 4 touchdowns.
Right.
The difference right now, an extra point by the Bearcats.
Kyle Ward back deep with Nathaniel once again for the Bearcats. Line drive kick skips at about the 25. Having to retreat is Ward. He collects it at about the 7-yard line. He reverses field. Middle of the field, 20, 25, 20. One man to beat, 15, the 10, and just short of the 5-yard line. That ball came out. It hit the turf first. Great starting field once again for the Bearcats. They'll be in business inside the 10.
Ward involved in the passing game at wide receiver, getting involved on special teams as well. Big return puts the Bearcats on the doorstep of another touchdown. That would be our 5th in this first half. And this offense, once again, with starting field position in plus territory, they can't ask for much more from their return game. This offense has been set up very well so far in the first 20 minutes of this game.
Yeah, and Ward had to go backwards in order to go forward. So great job by Ward to recollect himself and then turn around and make some great things happen. The ball spotted at the 5-yard line. First down and goal for the Bearcats. Great second look at that one. Cologne now with Adams to his right. Whistles now will stop play as we have a flag down. Timeout is called by the Stampede. So with that timeout, we will step aside, hear from one of our sponsors. We'll be back with more second quarter action right after this.
Host Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com.
East Coast Trophies and Awards, one of our sponsors. We will have an East Coast Player of the Game at the conclusion of this game, so Joe and I will have to keep our attention on that too. Who's going to win our Player of the Game award? We come back here. It's still first and goal from the 5-yard line. Stampede wanted to talk things over. Now, when they've been inside the 5, Joe, they've run the football. We'll see what they do here.
There is not a lot of room to pass down here.
Adams is the lone setback, and he gets the pitch at about the 10. Weaving, trying to find his way to the goal line, and does. Nasir Adams with touchdown number 2.
And we have quite the pileup along the boards, Dave.
Yeah, he certainly got in. Everybody thinks he scored. We haven't gotten an official signal yet. But that is going to be 6 for the Bearcats. They lead 19-12.
Adams with good hard running on that toss play, and he was in the middle of a major pileup right along the boards, along the goal line. And he emerges very energetic as he heads over to the bench. Bearcats now lead by 7. They are going for 1, so even if they make this kick, it is still a 1-possession game. You can go for a 2-point try here in the AAL2.
Right, so Storigo, who took a shot the last time, PAT, right back in there, left-footed kick. Spot is down, the kick is up, and it is no good. Flag is down. Came from behind the play, all the way from the back of the end zone. It is good. It is good. So they've reconsidered, and it is good. Now, there was a flag down, so we'll get a sense of what the flag is about in just a moment. It might be declined, obviously, if it's against the Stampede.
Well, taking a look at that kick, I thought they initially signaled no good off the netting. That makes up the ceiling. The previous kick was good off the netting. That makes up the ceiling. And as you said, Dave, they went back, reconsidered, and ruled that kick good to make it an 8-point game. Jersey over Steel City, 20-12. Now, did they signal what the flag was for?
They did not, but I saw Coach Roque on the Bearcats sideline signal declining, making the signal with his hand. So whatever it was, it has been declined. Point after stands, 20-12 in favor of the Bearcats. So now we're 5 for 5 with offensive drive touchdowns for both of these teams. We'll see which defense blinks first and gets a stop.
Could this be one of those games where the first stop wins? Well, it's playing out that way right now.
Joe, almost all the arena leagues around the country have started, and we've seen scores in the 70s and the 80s at some point. Most scores about the 50s, 40s, and 50s, but we've seen them approach the 70, 80 marks in some leagues. Certainly 32 points in the first 20 minutes of play. Pretty good start so far. That one skips in at about the 7-yard line and taken towards the right side, having to double back, but nowhere to go with Stewart. Still, though, the Stampede will have it 1st and 10 from just outside their 10-yard line.
Stampede in this game have the biggest passing play thus far on that last touchdown, and they'll hope to replicate that effort here. They haven't run many plays from down around the goal line on their first 2 drives. When the Bearcats have been down around the goal line, you said it before, Dave, they've been looking to hand the ball off, and so far, Nasir Adams has been up to the task. He has run with authority, and we saw him power that last one in. We'll see if the Stampede look to get their running game going here on this, their 3rd drive.
So ball's at the 16-yard line, and got to think for defensive coordinator Tony Shaw of the Bearcats, got to be thinking about wrapping up and tackling here. That's been one of the negatives so far for the Bearcats. They haven't been able to bring Stampede runners down with the consistency they would like. Stewart was in motion, but the pass is in the flat and taken out of bounds was Nathan Beamer, but not before he imposed a little shot of his own on Kareem Williams.
Speaking of broken tackles, as you were saying, Dave, Beamer had a big broken tackle early in this game that led to a score, and they've been feeding him early and often on these drives, looking for him in the underneath.
I wonder if we'll get a second look at it. We will, and you can see the shot employed by Beamer. It's 3 yards shy of the first down, so a gain of 7 on the play. 2nd down and 3. Northen under center. And he's going to be rushed and taken down. Jervon Young right up the middle. Big loss on the play.
And that's our first big defensive play of this game, Dave. You said it, Jervon Young coming through and coming up with a big sack. Here you'll get a second look at it. Really no time to survey the field for Northern on that play. He goes down, and that sets up this Jersey defense in a very good spot. 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, 3rd down and about 11, Joe. Original line of scrimmage was the 16. Now it's at the 15. So 3rd down and 11. Big play here. In motion is Stewart. Ball is loose again. Jervon Young may have come down with it. 2 consecutive big plays for the big guy, Jervon Young. The Bearcats take over.
And snapping the football has become an issue now for the Stampede, as it looks like Northern may be a bit shaken up on that play. He heads over to his bench gingerly, but once again, it is Young coming through with a big play. He is beginning to wreak havoc along that offensive line for the Stampede.
And the Bearcats with an 8-point lead will now go back on offense. They are 3 for 3. Offensive drive touchdowns. We have 5 minutes to go here in the first half. The clock will stop inside of a minute left. We get another look at this one. And yeah, just a simple exchange on the snap, Joe. Nothing more to it than that. And Jervon Young, all he had to do was fall on top of it, and then he did the little big man dance.
When you have a player who just came up with a sack, perhaps that played into that botch snap just a bit. You know, you have to get out of that stance and into your blocking stance a bit more quickly, and that may have played a role in that botch snap.
So 1st and 10 at the Stampede 15-yard line. In the backfield with Cologne is Adams. A couple of touchdowns for him. The other, Kyle Ward, that one is out, as it might have skipped off the turf. Stephon Cologne was pressured from his blind side.
On that play, the Stampede getting some pressure, and they need a bit more of that. The Jersey running game down around the goal line has been very good so far in this game, but if you can keep them out of that area of the field and force them to keep the ball in the air, you'll have more opportunities to create pressure around Cologne and perhaps to force a mistake, as we saw on the last drive for the Stampede, fumbling that snap.
Yeah, so good pressure on that last rush up. Pressure was applied by, looked like Fonseca on the play, or Joe Davis, mind you. Sorry about that. 2nd down and 10 for the Bearcats. Ward in motion. And the pass is in the flat to the right side. Making a man miss was Owens. We'll see where they spot this. Will be just short of the 1st down.
And that will help. Set up a 3rd down and short. Now the entire playbook is open.
Right.
Run or pass in this spot. And I said it before, the Bearcats have run the ball well. Down around the goal line. The defense, you know, is looking for that running play. And we'll see if they do the same here on 3rd down. Perhaps a chance for 2 plays here. 1 shot at the end zone via the pass and 1 more attempt at the 1st down via the run.
Thing to keep in mind is that Storigo does have the leg to hit one from this far if they had to go for a field goal on 4th. But like you mentioned, Joe, the low ceilings here might prevent an attempt. But before any of that is under consideration, it's a 3rd down and 3. Maybe a little bit more than that. Savridis goes from left to right. Cologne up the middle to the eligible receiver at the line of scrimmage, but that pass off the fingertips and incomplete.
You are allowed to have 1 eligible guard per play, and the Bearcats utilized that right there. Now, I do believe that was a player wearing number 62. 52, okay, that was Sean Kemmer Jr. Thought that was a 6. The number a bit ruffled underneath those pads.
I love that call, Joe, because it forces the Stampede to think about another element here to this Bearcats offense. You don't see that often, but on those short yardage plays, and if that pass was put a little bit lower for Kemmer, he might have come down with that one, but got banged around once it hit his hands. Under 2 minutes to play here, and we have a 4th down. About 4 or 5 yards to go here on this one. Savridis once again in motion. Cologne under pressure, gets past 1, and he is going to be stood up and taken down. And the Stampede hold.
Sagan Mallard with a big tackle there as he took down Cologne. There was a lot of turf in front of him, and if Mallard does not make that tackle, Cologne may still be running and celebrating in the end zone right now. But here you'll see it once again. Mallard comes crashing down and makes sure that Cologne did not get any further. Each defense has now come up with a stop.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a big stop for the Stampede, down by a touchdown and 2-point conversion. As we are approaching the 1-minute warning here. Clock will stop at 1 minute, and it does. So we have a timeout, official timeout. We will step aside, take a quick break. When we come back, the final minute of the first half.
Burgers are better at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
My weekend starts with the brownstone burger, topped with cheddar, barbecue sauce, and a fried egg.
Give me the Hawaiian burger. I love the Canadian bacon and sweet pineapple.
How do you like your salads? Shrimp, chicken, beef?
Stop in and see why families are eating good at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
Back to live action here as we are inside of a minute to go. Quick pass out into the flat. That pass was caught by Estremera. The wide receiver has his first touch. Now, the clock will stop here inside of a minute to play as long as there is positive yardage on the play or an attempt for positive yardage.
The boards also serve as out of bounds.
Right.
Under 1 minute as well. So if a player makes contact with the boards, he is out of bounds, and the clock will stop there as well.
Yep, clock has been started now once the ball is placed down and ready to go. So we are under 40 seconds to go. Looks like Northern wants to make sure of who his eligible receiver is. In motion, Northern looks down the field, open, and making the catch, but then stripped at the last second. Beautiful defensive play by Gordy Corbin.
Now on that play, the Stampede blocked 4. That gave Northern a lot of time to survey the field, but it also gives you one less receiver, which puts a lot of pressure on defensive backs. In that situation, the Bearcats were in zone coverage, and you had 2 receivers running deep in the secondary against 2 safeties. That's a tough spot to be in when you're in zone.
Yeah, you get the feeling with the time winding down too, Joe, that the Bearcats were willing to concede that underneath throw as well. It was a little bit high, but certainly Beamer could have come down with it.
And if he did, he could have kept running.
Certainly could have with the head of steam. They work it now the opposite side. Beamer made a nice catch, and he gets thrown out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. Right out of his route, Beamer found the ball right in his face mask.
Talk about timing between quarterback and wide receiver on that play. As soon as he turned around, Beamer had the football right in his face mask, and he was able to make a tough grab. Fortunately for the Stampede, he also reached the boards and was thrown into the padding with 18.2 to go in this first half.
Probably less importantly is that was a first down. So new set of downs here just outside the 25-yard line. Northern retreats back once again. He might take off with this one, looking for a hole. Gets held up at one point, takes himself out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 12.2 seconds to go. Minimal gain, about a yard.
And it looked like Juju Jordan had his hands up along the goal line, wanted Northern to try and heave one up there, but they probably still have time for another play before they have to take a shot at the end zone. Now, as I said before, does it become easier or harder to throw in for a touchdown if you get closer? Right now, they are 25 yards away from the goal line.
That's right, so something to consider, just maybe tossing 2 up near the end zone, hope to come down with it, or a defensive foul. Coming in motion is Beamer. Maybe a likely target for this one. Northern goes right side, finds his man at about the 12-yard line, and out of bounds promptly by Estremera. And so halfway there with 7.6 to go. Here's a huge play coming up.
Can't ask for much better than that. If you're the Stampede in that spot, they get more than halfway there. That still gives them some good room to work with, and likely 2 plays if the clock was to stop following this next snap. Now, that remains to be seen if they can get a play off quickly enough.
They might be resetting the clock to a different time. We'll see. The official came over to the official scorer, and a timeout has been called by the Bearcats. So quick timeout. We'll step aside here from one of our sponsors. When we come back, the final 7 seconds. Today's broadcast is being sponsored by the U.S. Army, the U.S. Army Junior ROTC, and the Crusaders, a winning combination of enterprise, leadership, innovation, courage, and commitment. Learn more about the U.S. Army and ROTC programs by visiting GoArmy.com and at USArmyJROTC.com. Become a part of our winning team through enrollment, employment, and leadership opportunities. Be all you can be with the Army and Army ROTC. We welcome you back here to Waranenko Sports Complex in Roselle, New Jersey. Season opener of the AAL2 for the Jersey Bearcats and the Steel City Stampede. Stampede ball at the Bearcats' 12-yard line with 7.6 seconds remaining in the first half. Huge play upcoming here. Northern is going to go under center, and it looks like the wide receiver in motion will be Juju Jordan on the left side. Northern putting it up, corner of the end zone, no good. 3 seconds remaining. They get another shot at this one, and I think the Stampede wants some more time on the clock. I think they'll get it.
They're discussing that right now. The official timekeeper is positioned at midfield, about 15 feet in front of us.
So
no change to the clock yet.
Nope, not yet. So Northern still asking for more time. Jordan did as well, but looks like this might be the final play of the first half. It's a big one. Stampede down by 8. Can conceivably go in tied at the half with a big play here. Northern this time, a timeout is called. It'll be called by the Bearcats. We'll step aside, one more break here. We'll be back with more Bearcats football.
Insurance is a benefit you and your loved ones need. Buying it early means lower premiums, higher benefits, security, and peace of mind. At I'm Covered Life Insurance, you get a personal touch from Anthony M. Royster, whose primary purpose is to provide proper protection. Unsure of how to start or want the keys to a sound financial plan? Call Anthony at I'm Covered Life Insurance at 267-323-9632 or email aroyster at amrimcovered.com.
Final play here of the first half. 3.4 seconds. In motion will be Estremera. Northern running out of real estate. We have a flag down. Jervon Young is going to put down Northern at midfield. Now there is a flag down. We believe the Bearcats will decline this and we will go into halftime. We will be joined at the half by head coach A.J. Roque, perhaps Tony Shaw. We will see who joins us. But the officials are still talking about this final play. It'll be a holding on the Stampede. It is declined, and we are officially at the half. The Jersey Bearcats 20 and the Steel City Stampede 12. Now, we will wait for, before we throw it to break, we will wait for one of our coaches to join us here at halftime. We'll ask a couple of quick questions.
Well, Dave, what are your takeaways from that first half? That was some fast-paced action, unlike anything we've covered before here on the PDF Sports Network.
Well, that's what I was going to say, fast. It was just fast. Every play coming in and out of the breaks, fast. The running clock makes it even faster. And so just a harried stretch of play. And it looks like the defense got settled towards the later stages of the second.
It certainly appeared that way. We saw on that last drive, once again, Young in the backfield pursuing the quarterback on the last play of that first half. He also had a fumble recovery and a sack. Big half for him. I believe he was credited with a sack on that last play as well, as the holding penalty was declined. So 2 sacks for him in that first half to go along with the fumble recovery. On both sides, the defenses came up with stops late in that half, and you said it, they appeared to find their footing as we drew closer to the intermission, and some positive momentum for both defenses to take into halftime. What adjustments will the offenses make to try and get back to their early success in this game?
Yeah, hard to believe. We have to think about what adjustments the offenses will make as opposed to the defense after the fast offensive start. So we are officially at halftime. Our score, the Jersey Bearcats 20 and the Steel City Stampede 12. We will pause, step aside for an extended break, a word from all of our sponsors, and when we come back, we will be joined by Bearcats co-owner Jermaine Sanders will join us at the break. Stay tuned. More Bearcats and AAL2 football coming up.
Plan to do chicken, then do chicken like a champ at Wing It On in Linden. Voted #1 medium wing sauce at the National Buffalo Wing Festival. Wing It On is family owned and operated in Linden, New Jersey, and we have an excellent array of your favorite wings and chicken done to perfection. We have the true flavor of champions at Wing It On. Stop in or order now at wingiton.com or call our store at 908-486-0910. Anco Sports Center is the official home of the Jersey Bearcats and is proud to welcome the AAL2. Located at 1 Park Drive in Roselle, Warananco is available for parties and rentals, public skating in the winter, and camps and activities each spring and summer. Visit us at waranancopark.com to learn more about our rink, indoor dining and party area, and all that beautiful Warananco Park has to offer. waranancopark.com or call 908-298-7849.
me the Hawaiian burger. I love the Canadian bacon and sweet pineapple.
How do you like your salads? Shrimp, chicken, beef?
Stop in and see why families are eating good at the Brownstone in Metuchen.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
We'll meet you at the Brownstone.
Welcome back here to Warananko Sports Complex in Roselle, New Jersey. We are about 2 or 3 minutes away from the start of the second half here. The Bearcats with a 20-12 lead over the Stampede, and got a chance to see some of the sponsors, Joe, during halftime, some of the images of our sponsors. But these games do not happen without the help of our sponsors. So we do want to tell our audience to not just appreciate the fact that these leagues have sponsors, but to also please try to frequent these establishments, you know, from our eateries like Wing It On and the Brownstone, of course, to some of our other friends want to make the most of that. Joe, AJ Roque is going to come on headset with us. He's getting situated down at halftime. He was supposed to come on before the half, but he's going to come on. He's going to come on now.
He's working on it.
He's trading one headset for another.
I think we may have just lost it. No, we've got him.
I think we've got him, yep.
We've got him.
All right, AJ, do you hear us all right? Okay. Say something to us, AJ.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we hear you. We hear you. All right, AJ, so listen, 20-12, the offense came out like lightning. You score on your first 3 drives. What are you seeing out there from your boys?
First 3 drives were awesome. That last one, we got the turnover inside the red zone. I mean, we got to capitalize on that. We didn't. But, you know, we'll come back and we'll redo it. We get ourselves together and get going again. So, you know, we'll get that going in the second half. That was on me. We should have took the points.
Big stop there to close out the first half. Jervon Young, a couple of sacks as well. Your defense maybe starting to find a little bit of rhythm. Were they on edge the first couple of series, you think?
Yeah, you know, it's first game jitters. You know, everybody got the butterflies. You know, once they got out, you know, our D-line started getting pressure, and you know, from there we took control of the game. And, you know, we want to continue doing that.
Few seconds to go before the start of the second half. What are your expectations from your coaching spot heading into the second half? What are you looking for from your guys?
We got to get better. We got to be able to play better, and we got to play faster. And that's all we're looking for. Play faster. You know, get the ball going, more points on the board. We need more points. We got to hit 50.
Awesome. We'll be looking for that. AJ, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you post-game.
Thank you.
You got it. AJ Roque, head coach of the Jersey Bearcats, co-owner of the Jersey Bearcats, co-owner of the AAL, and they're off to a good start, Joe.
They certainly are, and that's a bold declaration. He wants 50 in this game. They would need at least 4 touchdowns with some conversions in there. They may have to score 5 TDs to get to 50. We'll see if they can do it. The Stampede certainly hope not.
No, certainly not, but you know, if you know head coach Roque, you know he has high expectations for this team, and he's certainly going to put it out there and call his team out to match those expectations. So we'll see what the next 30 minutes have to offer us, but we got treated to some good action on both sides, some good individual performances, and, of course, some good team defense towards the end as well. And love the emergence of Jervon Young, a couple of sacks, a fumble recovery was the game's lone turnover. So some good things from the Bearcats defense to close up the first half.
No question about it. We said that about both defenses heading into halftime. They each came up with some stops before we headed to the intermission. The Bearcats made the bigger plays defensively. They had that pair of sacks, the fumble recovery, but the Stampede are within 1 possession in a good spot, and they get the football to start the second half. So while momentum may lie on the side of Jersey, it is Steel City that will have the first opportunity in half number 2 to get on the board, and with a 2-point conversion, they could tie this game.
That's absolutely true, and both teams said it, both coaches said it during pregame. They wanted to dominate, and right now we've got a good one. Both teams looking to dominate, both teams doing a fine job so far of imposing some of their will. The defense, of course, coming through and playing hard in certain stretches. Ball has been teed up now, and we are getting set for the start of the second half. We thank you for joining us here on PDF Sports Network, one of 5 Jersey broadcasts Jersey Bearcats broadcast that we will have for you on pdfsportsnet.com and on youtube.com/@pdfsportsnet.
We look forward to all of those, and I think we're a part of something special, the beginning of something special here with the AAL2, Dave. A great turnout here tonight. This community and fans of the Arena football game certainly very excited about the rebirth of the AAL as the AAL2, and this Bearcats team putting on a show for their fans here at Warrenalco tonight. They will kick off to start the second half. The Stampede hoping to put a bit of a damper on things. They get the football first here at the start of the third quarter with an opportunity to get even with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
So we are just about ready to tee it up here. Second half of play. Storigo will do the honors here. Left foot into this one, and that is a good kick that lands at about the 5-yard line. Picked up, and on the move is Stewart. Stewart might have banged into his own player, but finishing him off was Malik Walker. And Stampede will start near midfield.
Good-looking tackle by Walker, and he was the only Bearcat in the area there, and that's been the case on a lot of these kick returns. The return man has had an opportunity to make one man miss. Good tackle there by Walker to make sure that didn't happen, and the Stampede will take over just shy of midfield.
And this is where the Stampede have been pretty good with their play calls right here around midfield. Now, they were sacked on one of these plays, but open field, as you mentioned a couple of times, Joe, better serving the quarterback, Lamaj Northen, in this area field than when you get down there towards the goal line area. Very, very tough treading down there. Under center, we have seen a couple of fumbled snaps from under center. Northen wants to make sure the nose guard is lined up against the center. He'll take it, and the handoff is right up the middle, and plowing forward was Keen Stewart, the running back. Gain of about 3 on the play.
That could slow down the pass rush just a bit if they know they have to worry about the running game. Not often you're going to find a huge gain running in between the guards, but in that spot, a nice first down play. Picks up about 3 or 4.
Yeah, officially a gain of 4 on the play, so second down and 6. 13:30 remaining and counting, running clock here. Looks like in motion this time will be Nathan Beamer. Lower part of your screen will be coming in up top. Going out in the flat is the pass. It is completed and put out, but after picking up the first down, Estremera with the catch and run.
That could also slow down the pass rush a bit. A screen pass on that play, and you have to think that's a point of emphasis for the Stampede to open up this third quarter. Slow down that Jersey defensive line. Let them know they can't rush into the backfield and that they have to stay disciplined in their running lanes as well. I should say their pass rushing lanes against the run game. As on that last play, that screen went for a nice gain, and that sets the Stampede up at the 15.
Yep, that's how the Stampede scored their first touchdown of the game, was on one of those flare passes into the flat that went to the house. That was Beamer who did it last time. Beamer's at the top of your screen. He's in motion. As another fumbled snap, Joe. And both teams say they have it. It is Bearcats football. Another fumbled snap and another turnover for the Stampede.
Third time tonight the Stampede have lost a snap, and right now you could argue that's the difference in this game. 2 or 3 drives now have stalled in plus territory as the result of fumbled snaps. There you see a second look at it as Jersey got on top of that football, and once again the Bearcats able to recover. They will start at their own 16-yard line.
Well, we talked to Coach Roque about the defense coming up big at the close of the first half. Well, now to open up half number 2, another big-time play. And you could almost call that, Joe, an unforced error, and that's the third fumbled snap, like you mentioned, the second one lost by the Stampede, and those little things will hurt you over the course of a football game. No doubt about it here. Cologne wants to talk about some of the matchups. He'll have Adams in the backfield with him. Adams with a couple of scores tonight. Good first offering for him here in his 2023 indoor debut. They go trips right, and now in motion is Savardis. He's on the move, and they're going to look for Savardis in the corner. Touchdown! The Bearcats get in.
Savardis took a shot at the end of that play, straight into the boards, but Stefan Cologne drops a dime up and over the secondary of the Stampede. That will put the Bearcats ahead by 2 scores, as we will get a second look at it right here. Great shot of that play by Louis Matrone.
Yeah, great clean pocket for Cologne, and he had him, just like you said, dropped a dime in on Savardis. 26-12 our score now, with Sturrigo with the point after attempt. That one is blocked. And a flag down, as maybe the Stampede might have come in early there, Joe. At least that's the signal.
It does not look like the Bearcats kicking unit is leaving the field. We'll see. Now it looks like they might be.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here, but they're going to continue to run the clock here on this, and they're going to redo it. So they're going to redo the kick. It looks like the flag was against the Stampede.
Coach Roque wanted 50. That's a good start.
That's a great start. 1 play, 6 points on offense. Perhaps the 7th coming up here. Nathaniel to hold this one here for Sturrigo. And that one skips away. Ball is fumbled. That is a live football and picked up by the Stampede. So the point after, no good, as Nathaniel couldn't control it. And the score is 26-12 with 9:14 remaining.
Well, extra points have not been easy to come by in this game. And right now, the Stampede trailing by 2 touchdowns plus an extra point on each one. So keep that in mind, as we've only had, if I'm not mistaken, the 2 successful extra point tries by Jersey in this game. So we may see the Stampede elect to go for 2 moving forward and try and chip into this lead a bit more if they do find the end zone. But now, trailing by 2 scores, the sense of urgency has to rise for Steel City.
Absolutely, and really the unforced errors have to be a concern for Coach Santiago and his group. Some self-inflicted pain for the Stampede here. A turnover to start the second half. Sturrigo will get this one restarted here. Midway through the third, in a quick moving third quarter. Bearcats up by 14. That one is muffed originally, picked up by Stewart. Stewart needs to make a couple of men miss and cannot. He gets spilled down at about the 15-yard line, where the Stampede will take over.
That muff on the kick allowed the Bearcats coverage team to get down the field quickly and make that tackle right around the 15-yard line of Steel City. And this is about as far back as any drive has started off of a kickoff in this game. And that was definitely due in part to the muff on that kick return.
And Sturrigo's gotten off a couple of really good kickoffs here, hitting the turf at just the right spot, forcing the Stampede players to really play it on the fly off the carpet. That's caused a little bit of problems, and now, starting at their own 15, second drive of the second half for the Stampede. They scored on their first 2 offensive possessions, have been shut out since. Northen under center again. Quick out into the flat. Estremera. He gets it past the 20 to about the 21-yard line, gain of about 6.
The Stampede have found success in the screen game so far tonight.
Right.
Not sure they'll be able to ride that all the way back, but these last couple of drives, that quick passing game has been effective. And even when they don't set up a screen, those short stick routes have been effective as well, as their receivers have done a good job in the open field, specifically breaking tackles.
Yeah, and the Bearcats have kind of closed that gap, too, of getting to the quarterback on the in the pocket. They have been able to put Northen down for a couple of sacks in this one. So Stampede needing to play quickly at the line of scrimmage, have been doing so. On the move is Beamer. Northen back to pass, finds Estremera in the flat, but he drops it at about midfield to be third down.
A lot of black jerseys in the area, and I think Estremera heard footsteps on that throw. It was a bit behind him as well. That certainly didn't help, but we have a timeout called by Jersey.
Timeout for the Bearcats. We'll step aside, take a break. When we come back, more Jersey Bearcats football.
This broadcast is being brought to you by the Three Bleezies Entertainment Group on the Three Bleezies Facebook page. Catch the Three Bleezies weekly show, as well as live recordings, and all the opinions and the unfiltered hot topics you've come to love about semi-pro. It's the resource for semi-pro football and more, from the official source for all things Bleezy. The Three Bleezies Facebook page. Visit and follow now. Mundo, yeah, yeah.
Mundo, yeah, Joe. The Three Bleezies, one of our
I'm glad
sponsors.
you said it because I wasn't going to.
Well, I was told we had to say it on the commercial. So
Were you?
Mundo. You don't want to be Mundo. That's the thing. You don't want to be Mundo. On the Three Bleezies Facebook page. We hope you'll check it out. Meanwhile, Northern back to pass, and he finds Beamer inside Bearcats territory at about the 15-yard line.
Well, I made a deal during the EFA season with Nick Durst. I told him if one of the Three Bleezies finds the end zone, we will say it together. I don't know if that happened during that game. I'd have to think back, but I think it may have happened. So I got mine in during the EFA season.
Three Bleezies, of course, one of our big sponsors here for the Arena Football League, and Jersey Bearcats, of course, and one of many. And we hope that you'll frequent their establishments, visit their pages, of course, and give them the business they deserve. All of our sponsors. We'll go through them again at some point here in this quarter, and you see them on your screen. Northern in the flat again. Estremera makes a move and gets it to about the 10-yard line. We're closing the gap a little bit more here as the Stampede closer and closer to pay dirt.
Good methodical drive here for Steel City. They need points as we close in on the 5-minute mark in this third quarter. Still plenty of time, but they are certainly going to need at least 2 more scores as well as a few more stops if they're going to come away with a win in this game.
So second down. Just outside the 10-yard line. Northern once again under center. The fake, and now the throw in the flat is complete, I believe. We are out of our eyes there as we are screened by the Bearcats bench. It looks like it'll be third down no matter what. It looks like the original, no, they get it to about, so original line scrimmage. So that must have been incomplete, Joe. Third down.
This is our toughest angle with the plays taking place down toward the right end zone.
Yep.
We'll contort ourselves to make sure we bring you the action.
Yeah, this is where we lean on our monitor as much. Third down. Northern this time out of the shotgun. Fair amount of time. Now the pressure comes. Young ran into Ramirez. They go across the field, and that one over the outstretched arms of Beamer and incomplete. It'll be fourth down.
Well, I'm not sure Northern knew it, but 2 of the Jersey linemen collided with one another as they were pursuing him in the backfield. You'll see it here on this replay. He may have had a bit more time than he thought. There you see that collision. That bought him a few extra moments, and he did have blocking behind him. So I think he had a little bit more time, perhaps even could have run with that football.
Yeah, perhaps. He threw it into double coverage. That's where Beamer, of course, was stationed. But fourth down and 5 to go. Northern in the flat to Beamer. Tried to make one man miss. Is he successful enough to get the first down? That's going to be very close, Joe. He is down at about the 6 or 7 yard line. So we will see an official marker here of where this ball will be spotted.
Our replay may help us do that. So
it's
Andrew
an illegal
will cue
shift,
it up
though.
and slow it down. And
there's a flag on the play, and it is against the Stampede. Illegal shift was the call, or illegal motion.
They'll have to try
it's
again
declined
here.
First down.
So they didn't get it.
So they did not get it. So the Bearcats are able to decline that penalty, take the result of the play. It's a turnover on downs, and yet another stop for the Bearcats.
Well, after the 2 offenses got off to a red-hot start, the Jersey defense has really taken over this game.
That's right, and that's some big stops. And, we get to the part of the game, Joe, there's 2 minutes and change left in the third quarter. Now every drive becomes very important at this point for the Stampede, including this one on the defensive side of the ball. They need to stop, and they need some points.
No question about it. Good news for them is they have Jersey backed up near their own goal line.
Right.
That might help. Though we've seen it as these offenses get close to the end zone, it becomes very hard to pass. Plenty of field for the Bearcats to work with right here.
Yeah, this second half is 13 minutes old, and the Bearcats have only run one offensive play, and it went for 6 points. Other than that, it's been all Stampede offensively, but no points on the scoreboard in this second half. 26-12 is our score. Bearcats take over. Cologne looking center of the field, wide open is Owens. Touchdown, Bearcats.
Complete breakdown in the secondary for the Stampede and for the Bearcats here in the second half. 2 plays, 2 touchdowns. They are well on their way to 50. If they keep this up, they have broken this game open. They now lead by 3 possessions.
We'll see the replay and try to understand why Owens went free. Looks like he stutter-stepped and the secondary lost him. And that was another quick 6 points. And with a minute left to go in the third quarter, the score is now 32-12. And the Bearcats looking for another.
And we'll get one more look at that play following this kick. Though it looks like we may have a delay here ahead of the kick. I think they need one more player out on the field.
They need more blockers. They need more linemen. Yep, they were missing one. Getting on is Steven Puzo late. Approaching 30 seconds left. Play clock winding down. Spot kick is up. It is, I believe, wide. No good. It went wide right. And so the score remains 32-12. We'll get another look at this replay. By that time, Owens had just broke down the field. 2 plays, 2 touchdowns, as Joe mentioned. And the lead has gone from 8 at the half to now 20 here in what looks to be the end of the third quarter.
And that was a fast-moving third quarter.
So final seconds tick off, and that'll do it. 3 quarters complete here in Waranenko. Your score, Jersey Bearcats 32 and the Steel City Stampede 12. We'll throw it a break and come back right after this.
Host Trophies and Awards has been serving your awards needs since 1986 and is now a proud sponsor of the PDF Sports Network. From sports-specific trophies and plaques to corporate and business promotions and gifts, East Coast Trophies and Awards is your one-stop shop for all of your crowning achievements, and they always meet the right price. Contact Chris today at 848-223-7071 or visit them at www.eastcoastawards.com.
We are back here. Kickoff upcoming. The Bearcats have run 2 offensive plays in this half. They've scored on both plays. Stampede, they need some positivity, and they are going to return this one back at their own 15-yard line. First time Justin Green has touched the ball as one of the up men on the kickoff.
Well, Dave, we've seen a lot from the short passing game of the Stampede. They have to try and stretch the field now. Keep in mind, running clock here in the AAL2, so no time for the Stampede to waste in this spot. And we've seen the Bearcats connect on some big plays in this game. The Stampede looking for an answer.
That's right, and they're going to need points in bunches and quickly. And we'll see if Northern can go down the field and generate offense quickly. As you could see, Green taking the kickoff, getting swallowed up by a couple of black jerseys. Ball spotted at the 16-yard line for the Stampede. They will have it 1st and 10. Third drive of the second half for them. In motion is Beamer. He gets a flying start. The look is in the flat, and the catch is made, but promptly put down is Manny Stewart. Now, there is a penalty flag on the play, and it will be holding against the Stampede.
And that is not what Steel City needed in this spot, as they're backed up closer to their own end zone. And with the issues they've had snapping the football, that could prove to be a major factor on this drive.
Defensive coordinator Tony Shaw electing to take the yards instead of declining the play, which was an option. But at this point, the further and further you put the Stampede back from the touchdown is really ultimately what you're looking for. So it'll be 1st down.
If you're the Bearcats here, you just don't want a coverage breakdown. That's the one thing you need to avoid.
1st and 18 as the ball was spotted half the distance to the goal. Northern barks out signals. Looking right side of the field, and that one is caught by Estremera. Good job catching that one as Estremera was right out of his break. There is another flag down.
Steel City continues to block 4, but that was a good-looking route. And the ball right on time from Northern. He put it right on target as well. We'll see if that play is going to stand.
Looks like they're walking this one towards the Bearcats end of the field. The penalty was declined, so I believe they will take the result of this play, which will put them at the 20-yard line. So it will be a 2nd down and 6. Gain of 10 officially on the play. Clock still winding down here. We are at 12:10 to go in the 4th quarter. Snap. Northern once again looking short to Beamer. He reverses field, looks to get to midfield, almost had it stripped, but is able to gain the Bearcats side of the field. That'll be a 1st down for the Stampede.
Beamer's been impressive tonight, catching the football and then making moves after the catch. He's done a good job breaking tackles, has not given up on any play, continues to fight forward for extra yards, and right now the Stampede need every one of those yards as they look to make this a game again. A score here would make it a 14-point game and bring them back within 2 possessions. That's without any conversion attempt or extra point.
Goal for Northern, obviously looking downfield. If nothing's there, dropping it off in the flat or down low to one of his safety valves. Here's another one. Estremera, flags are down again. Estremera fights for more yards at about the 15-yard line, but there was a flag in the secondary, Joe, on the Bearcats side of the field.
And we'll see which way this one goes, as it looked like that play wasn't going anywhere. Estremera caught that one right along the boards, but he was able to stay upright and move forward without making contact against the pads or the glass. And that afforded him a nice gain, and it looks like that gain will stand.
Yeah, it was against the Bearcats, the call, and they're now talking with, see whether they accept or decline, and they will decline the penalty. So I think the result of the play puts them at about a 2nd and 2, Joe. About the 15-yard line, just outside the 15. Stampede again going down the field, but their problem has been getting to that end zone. Not since the 1st quarter have they been able to get there. First 2 drives of the game, the Stampede scored 6. Have been shut out since. Northern, flags are down again. Northern looking low, and that time out of the extended reach of Estremera. So it'll be 3rd down, but we'll see what the result of this penalty is. They did let the play go, and that flag came down once again in the Bearcats secondary. False start against the Stampede.
Now, it should be noted, it is not an error on your screen. These flags do not stop the clock. The clock is still running.
Yeah.
And those are valuable seconds coming off the clock as the Stampede try and put a drive together here to make this a 2-possession game. And how quickly each penalty is sorted out looms large right now.
Sure. And the Bearcats once again electing to take the yardage rather than the result of the play. So instead of a 3rd and 2, it'll be a 2nd and 7. Bearcats just want to keep the Stampede further and further away from the end zone. 9:15 remaining, 4th quarter. Quick pass out in the flat to Beamer. Beamer gets to about the 15-yard line. He may have enough for the 1st down. We'll see. Looks like to be right there. No official signal yet. Ball right at the chains. Looks like he's just short. No, it's a first. No. 1st down. Yeah, 1st down has been whistled at the 13-yard line.
There you got a second look at it, but with all the bodies congregated in the Stampede bench, a bit tough to make out those down markers.
1st and 10 from the 13. Stampede can obviously get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown here. Northern once again looking middle of the field, corner of the end zone, off the outstretched fingertips of Stewart. He was open, Joe. It looked like a miscommunication in the Bearcats secondary, but that pass just a little too high for Stewart to bring down.
And that is one that Steel City had to have. Here you'll get a second look at it. We'll see if the pass rush was a factor, and it was not. That was a clean pocket. And on that play, Stewart was wide open. That ball just a bit off target.
2nd down and 10, so the Bearcats get away with one that time. after the defensive backfield breakdown. Stampede, 2nd and 10. We have an official timeout on the field to fix the clock's still running. It's 7:45 remaining. They'll have to fix the padding.
Clock was stopped finally at 7:46.
Yeah. Warananko is a ice skating rink during the fall and winter, and of course putting the turf down rather recently here for spring football. Northern, plenty of time, drops it off to Beamer. Beamer makes a move at the 10 and gets down to about the 7 or 8 yard line. So short of the first down, it'll be about a 3rd and 5.
And on this play, Stampede may go as far as to take a shot at the end zone. If you get a first down here, it certainly helps, but you get one right along the goal line. So it would be difficult to pick up a first down without a touchdown. They could be down to 2 plays that decide this game in either direction.
Very true, and if you're the Bearcats, it almost seems like they're conceding that underneath pass all day, understanding the Stampede need to get in the end zone. Northern, once again, he is getting rushed hard, failing to bring him down. They go corner of the end zone. The flag is down on the play. I believe that was incomplete, or it went off the boards.
Now, you can't use the boards to brace yourself in anticipation of a pass.
Right.
So if that is the call, that reception may not stand. It looked like that catch was good.
And they did throw a flag, Joe, too. So
that I saw, but was the flag for bracing against the boards?
Not quite sure. We'll get it figured out. The referees are in the corner and now are coming out of their conference, and they look like they're pointing on the boards. Pass was incomplete. They're going to pick up the flag, and I believe the pass was incomplete. That's the body language that we're getting from this. Clock is stopped with 6:15 to go, and looks like the official want to have a conversation with both coaches, Santiago and Coach Roque. It's a touchdown. So they reverse the call, and the touchdown will stand. So, and now we have a flag down, which may be assessed on the point after, perhaps due to some extra conversation by Jeremy Estremera, the wide receiver, who we believe came down with that one. 6:15 to go, and it's 32-18 now. So kind of an anticlimactic touchdown that time, a 13-yard pass from Northern to Estremera. And it looks like the way they're lining up, they will go for 2 here, down by 14.
And I think that's the right decision. Make it a 12-point game. Then you just need 2 touchdowns.
Right.
And you'll get another shot at a successful 2-point try, even if you're trailing by 14. So you'd have to get it 1 out of your next 3.
Now the ball is spotted at the 8, and that's because of the penalty that occurred after the touchdown. So this is the 2-point conversion attempt. Now there was movement on both sides. Let's see what the call is. Clock will continue to run. So this one either goes 5 yards further back. So they'll, right around the area of the field where they scored the touchdown, Joe, will be the 2-point conversion try. Getting ahead on the play was Tony Ram, the guard on the right side.
Well, if there's anything that's become abundantly clear, it's that you do not want to be down 3 possessions with the running clock. It is very hard to mount the comeback in that spot.
It's going to be an interesting kickoff too, Joe, because remember, as long as the ball travels 10 yards, it's a live ball in the kickoff, and I would undoubtedly think the Stampede will be going for the onside kick. Pass corner of the end zone, and getting up and getting it is Stewart. What a play! Flags after the 2-point conversion, but that will stand.
What a catch by Stewart. That may lead the highlight reel following this game, even if the Stampede don't come away with a win, as he goes up above the defense and makes that grab against the boards. 2 flags fly.
got a gorgeous look at it. Great replay by our team, and that was a tremendous play by Manny Stewart. Elevation and a little bit of jarring after the 2-point conversion, of course, leads to the penalty, and we'll see how this affects the kickoff here. It's 32-20, so things got a lot more interesting here. Now there's 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this game and counting. So the Stampede are going to need something here to get this ball back in their hands.
If they give up a first down, the game is likely over,
Right.
trailing by 2 scores. They do still have all 3 of their timeouts. Jersey has used 1.
I'm very surprised that the clock does not stop after a score. But such are the rules here in the AAL2 and arena football. Definitely puts teams like the Stampede against the 8 ball here. 3:50 to go, and here we go. And it is short. It has to travel 10 yards. Did it do so? Coming down with it was Beamer, but he may have touched it illegally.
Well, there is no flag on the field,
isn't.
Dave, and the Stampede certainly think they have recovered.
Now, maybe because they backed up due to the penalty, and it did travel the necessary yardage. Let's see. Right now, the ball's spotted at the 10.
But let's see if we can slow this down and make out where the first touch occurred.
Yeah, it could have been right at the 10-yard line, and because they were backed up to the goal line, there's your 10 yards.
We'll see if we can move this one forward to the point of first contact. The ball is loose right here, so let's try and get a quick look at it ahead of the first play of this drive.
Well,
there are a lot of bodies there, and it's very hard to make out the 10-yard line. My first instinct is that they did not touch it legally.
It looks like the Bearcats offense is coming onto the field, Joe. So our initial reaction stands. This will be Bearcats football with under 3 minutes to go.
And how much time just ran off the clock?
So they could salt away this game essentially just, now remember, inside of a minute they have to go forward with the football, so they can't just take a knee. But still up by 2 scores, they are seemingly well on their way. See the slow motion replay that time, gives you another look at it, but the ball is spotted inside the 10, which is where we believe the ball was touched. So first down and goal for the Bearcats. 2 minutes remaining in regulation time. And again, they can seemingly salt this one away on the ground. And they will give up the middle, and taken down after about a gain of 1 or 2 was Adams. Adams with 2 touchdowns in this game. Joe, we have to start thinking about a player of the game. Could be Adams, who had some early highlights. Defensively, Jervon Young with a couple of big sacks, a fumble recovery, really set the tone defensively for the Bearcats as well.
We will break and congregate.
Right. Cologne needs to go forward with the ball. Looked like they wanted to strip it. Actually, he didn't need to go forward because there's still over a minute to go. But the clock still stands. Actually, clock still runs. And we're going to have a 1-minute warning coming out of this.
And there you see Cologne taken down by a swarm of Stampede defenders.
Going for that ball.
Holding on the offense is the call.
So that stops the clock regardless at 1 minute. Now, might decline this penalty here just to take the result, get another loss of down. Doesn't look like it matters much, Joe, here with the Bearcats up by 12. They're looking to go 1-0. We saw their schedule a little bit earlier in our pregame, but they'll be on the road next week. They'll return home here to Waranenko 2 weeks from tonight. We will be here with you, pdfsportsnet.com and youtube.com/@pdfsportsnet. Thank you for staying with us through this evening. Cologne back to pass, middle of the field. That one bounces off the helmet of the defensive back, Justin Green. That stops the clock at 57 seconds, and now we have another extracurricular penalty flag in the Stampede secondary.
Now, if this is against Jersey, and moves them back a considerable amount of yards. It's about the only thing that could set up the Stampede with a good shot at potentially making this a game. They do still have all of their timeouts.
So the result of this looks like will be just they will back it up. So that might have been after the game, after the unsportsmanlike conduct, but it could be after the play. So it could be a loss of down anyway, but it's third down, and the ball's at the 22-yard line. So the Bearcats have gone backward with 57.2 seconds. Now, in the long run, does it matter? Perhaps not. As long as the Bearcats get positive yardage here, they will force the Stampede to call a timeout. And that might be the plan here, is just to keep the clock moving. Timeout is going to be the call after the lengthy delay. A timeout call by the Bearcats. We'll keep it right here rather than go to a commercial. Instead of a commercial, what we will do is we will thank all of our many sponsors tonight. The Brownstone Eatery and Metuchen, East Coast Awards, I'm Covered Life Insurance, the U.S. Army and JROTC, New Jersey Urban News, Waranenko Sports Center, Three Bleezies, the AAL and AAL2, Dave Riemann, Total Body Performance, Pioneer Sports, Staples, Phenom, and Willie Will, our DJ tonight as well. And Wing It Up, right? Wing It Up. That's our other one. Glad we remembered all of those. You could see all those commercials in their entirety. And again, please support our sponsors. Our broadcasts do not happen without them. And Jersey Bearcats football does not happen without them. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Tonight, we'll feature you more along the way. Third down, very long. Cologne, under pressure, drops it down low. Great job by Ward. Now, he does go out of bounds. There is a flag down. Ward was alone underneath. We'll see if that's the result of a holding call, as Cologne did have some time in the pocket. It will be holding against the Bearcats. Now, Joe, do you decline the penalty? The clock is stopped because he went out of bounds. Do you decline it, fourth down at about the 10, or do you take the penalty?
I'd probably back them up because you need to make a play here on defense in order to have a chance. To score twice on offense in 50 seconds is a huge ask, even with 3 timeouts. They need to try and disrupt this play in the backfield before Cologne can get a pass off. Remember, if the Bearcats don't move forward and gain positive yards, the clock will stop without having to use a timeout. That's something the Stampede have to keep in mind here. I think you back up Jersey as far as they're willing to back themselves up with these holding penalties.
So it'll remain third down. The Bearcats will have it at their own 23-yard line. 50.4 seconds to go. Stampede need 2 scores and the football in their hands to do it, most likely. Cologne steps up in the pocket, goes sidelines, incomplete. He was looking in the direction of Dante Owens, one of the touchdown scorers today. It'll be fourth down. Clock stops again with 45.8.
Something we haven't seen tonight, and something I'm not sure we're going to see here, but how feasible is a punt? The ceiling is very low.
It would have to be a line drive, at least to get through the uprights for the point, or the field goal.
Now
is another option, but
if you kick it on a line, that makes it much easier to block.
Right.
How much confidence do you have in your ability to block the rush?
Well, the other part of this, Joe, is you dump it off underneath, hope for a couple of missed tackles as well, and maybe get yourself 10, 15, 20 yards that way and force the Stampede to go relatively the length of the field, or at least halfway down the field in 45 seconds, just to make it a 6-point game.
Now, would the clock run on a change of possession here? I would think it would. No, it would not.
Everything under a minute stops,
everything
right.
under a minute. Okay. Even with a positive yard.
Even with a
play.
positive yard, because it's a change of possession. 4th down, a lot to go. Cologne, a lot of time. Down the middle of the field and in and out of the hands of Dante Owens. He had a long touchdown catch earlier, and that would have been brilliant to end this one or put a punctuation mark on it. It did hit his hands. That was a nice throw by Cologne.
What an effort by Owens. A perfect throw from Cologne. He gave his receiver a chance. Owens went crashing into the boards there. Fortunately, the padding is there. He gets up. He is all right, but the Stampede will take over in plus territory. They still have 3 timeouts. This game is not over yet.
Not over yet, indeed. We've seen some one-play touchdown drives in this game for sure. Unfortunately, they've happened on the other side for the Stampede. But if they could sneak one in here in the next 15, 20 seconds and force a turnover, get it back, who knows? We've seen some pretty interesting and strange things here on the PDF Sports Network, year 1 of our coverage. Let's see what we have in store here. That one, down the length of the field, sideline, Beaver, touchdown!
Not over yet, Dave. 1 play, 6 points. The Stampede are right back in it. And with 3 timeouts, they trail by 6. With a conversion or an extra point here, a touchdown would be good to win the game if they can get it back.
Absolutely. 34.8 seconds now with the clock stopping after every play. All of a sudden, this got a lot more interesting. 14 unanswered points for the Stampede. A chance here to add a couple of more.
And those penalties on that last drive for Jersey now looming large, as they at the very least will have to pick up a first down to ice this game.
What a night Nathan Beamer has had as well. Terrific performance for him. Northern sending the receiver in motion. They go out into the flat and getting in untouched for the score, Rich Adams. So 32-28 is now our score.
4-point game, 31 seconds on the clock. If you're Jersey here, you need a first down, but with only 31 seconds left, if you can milk the clock during your plays, you won't have to worry about a first down. We'll see how much time they can take off with each snap. I would assume we're going to have an onside kick here as well, so there is that opportunity for the Stampede as well. Still more than one path to victory for them.
Absolutely, and if you're the Bearcats now, obviously you know the onside kick is coming. Very important to get down on top of the football. No fingertip, try to pick up the ball from the turf for them. They need to get their bodies on top of it. The ball must travel 10 yards. It is being spotted at the goal line. Looks like Apanek will go to his right side with this one. There are no rules against how many players can be on one side of the field for these attempts, and that one I don't think will travel far enough. It goes out of bounds at about the 7, so it did not go the requisite 10 yards.
Not close, as I think the furthest that ball got was about 6 or 7 yards. So Jersey will take over, 31 seconds on the clock. Question number 1, how much time can they bleed off during their plays? Question number 2, will that be enough?
And the Stampede timeout situation as well. Now remember, as long as the ball is advanced, the clock will run. We have 31 seconds to go. So the Bearcats cannot take a knee here. If they do, the clock automatically stops.
So Steel City had to use a timeout following that onside kick, because we have them down to 2 now. If that timeout was called by the Stampede, they are down to 2.
Yeah, not sure about that.
And then the game is effectively over if they move forward on these plays.
You would think the give underneath will be to Adams. Let's see. It's pitched out to Adams. Adams, flag down. And it will be a holding against the Bearcats. Players take a long time to separate against the wall. Clock has stopped with 25.4 to go, and a holding call against the Bearcats.
Now, almost 6 seconds came off on that play. it may actually benefit Jersey to get called for holding there, because now you're going to run at least 3 more plays. Even if you don't move forward, you might be able to take the last 25 seconds off the clock.
Right, good point. The ball gets spotted at the 13-yard line, but again, if you're the Stampede, you are looking to strip that ball, and under no circumstances do you want that ball carrier to go down without the ball in your hands or advancing on the play. So you either need a loss on the play or a strip. Chance of defense come up from the Stampede bench. They certainly have the momentum. Cologne, rush, and the drop pass is over to Adams, and he gets positive yards and then some inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line. Clock continues to run. It stops now. Stampede might have called a timeout. No, they have not. Still 10 seconds and counting left. And now they stop the clock again. And flag is down. Looks like the Stampede coach had a lot of words to say for the official. He wanted the clock to be stopped.
Now, they certainly called timeout with far more than 9 seconds left. The clock initially stopped at about 15.
Right.
And then they ran off 6 seconds. And on that last play, as we saw on the replay, the Stampede very nearly got to Cologne. He just got that screen pass off, and then the Stampede had a chance to make the tackle along the boards, did not. And the receiver then took that inside of the 5-yard line. That was Ward.
So Ward picks up the positive yardage. So after all of this, it will be a 1st and goal, or maybe might have gotten the requisite yardage for the first down, I'm not sure. Either way, 15.2 to go. The Bearcats are about 3 yards away from a touchdown. The pitch out, and a fumble is on the ground, and covering it up was Lee Holmes. The Stampede have a shot, 11.8 seconds to go.
What an unexpected turn of events. It looked like the Bearcats just had to carry the ball forward, and that likely would have done it, but as you see, it is Steel City on the fumble recovery. They have a shot with 11.8 to go, and we said it many times during the last 3 minutes. This game was not over, and now Steel City has a chance to shock the Bearcats here at home in the first game of their season.
32-28. The score was 32-12 just a few moments ago. And the Stampede on their last drive, a 1-play touchdown. Let's see if they have it in them here. The ball is spotted at the 3-yard line, Joe, so they will need to go 47 yards in 11.8 seconds. If they do, undoubtedly, they're getting out of here with a victory.
Is it time for the prevent defense?
Yeah, we don't know the timeout situation either.
I think it's 1 timeout each team.
Remember, the Bearcats have been able to get to Northen as well. They protect with 4. Northen, middle of the field. Catch is made by Stewart. He's down. Timeout is called with 7.3 seconds to go. Ball's at the 23-yard line. A gain of 20 on the play.
That's a big grab by Stewart. He had that huge touchdown reception earlier. Comes up with another big catch, making his case for player of the game if the Stampede can pull off this come-from-behind win.
Wow. Wow. 7.3 seconds to go, which for one play is a relative eternity. 32-28 our score. 7 seconds left. Perhaps the Stampede out of timeouts. Northern, pressure on. The throw in the flat to Beamer. Beamer taken down at about midfield. There's less than a second left, 0.4, and the final timeout is called by the Stampede.
Comes down to 1 play, Dave.
That's it.
One play from midfield or just shy of it.
Here we go. One final play to determine who wins the first game of the AAL2 season. The Bearcats, who've led pretty much wire to wire in this one, had as much as a 20-point lead. That is whittled away.
All the camera phones in this building are out right now, Dave. It's getting loud in here.
Here we go, final play. It'll speak for itself. Northern out of the shotgun. In motion will be Beamer. The Bearcats get pressure on. They look corner in the direction of Beamer. The catch is made. Touchdown Stampede. Nathan Beamer.
Steel City has shocked the Bearcats. It is a touchdown for Nathan Beamer, and I think I know who we are going to speak to following the conclusion of this game. Now, the structure that supports the ceiling obstructed our view of that catch. So we do apologize for that, but we are going to send our engineer, Andrew Rotundo, down to the field. He is going to grab our player of the game, and with that grab, it is going to be Nathan Beamer of the Steel City Stampede.
Wow, I don't think there's any doubt. Nathan Beamer gets our player of the game. What a tough loss for the Bearcats, but what a win for the Stampede. Down 32-12. They come back with 22 unanswered. Remember that two-point conversion, Joe? That was a source of contention in the corner. That ends up being the difference. Wow, what a game and what a finish.
An amazing finish. And a lot of that was set up by the penalties against Jersey when they had the ball with about 3 minutes to go in this game. They were called for several holding penalties. Those penalties backed them up and put them in a position where they were forced to go for it from their own side of the 25-yard line. And with that, the Stampede got it back. They scored quickly, got another stop, and that one arguably was gifted to them on the fumble. But credit to Steel City, they stuck with it, made the big plays when it counted. Jersey played great for about the first 57 minutes of this game, but then in the final 3 minutes, they had several breakdowns, both with the penalties and defensively, and that ultimately cost them in their home opener, in their season opener, as we are still awaiting our player of the game, Nathan Beamer. Andrew is going to track him down.
Nathan is joining us on headset now.
Appreciate you, homie.
All right. Nathan, you hear us, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. We hear you. And Nathan, listen, you're the player of the game, our first ever arena broadcast, and you give the Steel City Stampede the big W. Tell us about that last play first. What did you see? Was that the original play call? Break it down for us.
Yeah, Coach, listen, Coach just had the faith in me and Caleb, of course, to put the ball up there. Our line came through, very last play. We said, come on, if we're gonna score on this play, we gotta give it everything we got. So they gave me a shot. I was asking for it. They had faith in me. I had faith in my offense, and that's what happens.
Nathan, how do you stay positive and poised down by 20 points late in the game like this?
Man, I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't hard. But, man, when you have a unit like we do and everyone who's so well connected and willing to look at the person beside them and, tell them to keep their chin up, that's how we all stay positive. It's not even just me, it's everybody. We all stay positive. We came through with a positive ending.
Nate, Coach said preparing for the season's been tough. A lot of coming together just in the recent weeks.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about the makeup of the team, the mindset of the team coming into the season, and how much more beneficial is it to come out of here with a W and go back with that win under your belt?
Man, well, our motto this year is all in. All in. So, I mean, you saw it on those last few possessions in the fourth quarter, how that's what it was. We were all in, and like I'll continue to say it, when we have a tight-knit group of guys like this, it's hard for us to be able to get down when we have playmakers and athletes like we do on this team. And I mean, I love these guys. We only been able to practice a couple weeks, and man, I mean, look at us. See nothing but smiles. We having fun. I mean, I got nothing but love for all these guys, and I'd say if we wouldn't be having this dub if it wasn't for all of them.
Absolutely. Well, Nate, you're missing the big celebration there. Get back to your team.
I appreciate
Congratulations. Nathan Beamer, once again, our PDF Sportsnet and East Coast Trophies and Awards player of the game. I had it written down there. Player of the game, our first one here on this broadcast. Joe, what a final. Certainly a negative for the team that we cover, the Jersey Bearcats. But if that's what arena football is going to be here on PDF, we are in for a great season.
No doubt about it. We couldn't have asked for any more from our first game of this season. You said it, a disappointing result for the Bearcats. They did a lot well in this game. It was just 3 bad minutes at the end of the game. That's when the key mistakes were made, particularly those penalties when they had a chance to run out most of the clock. They had possession of the ball down around the goal line. They ended up all the way back at their own 15-yard line just about, and that gave the Stampede a chance. A defensive breakdown led to a score. The Stampede got back on defense, and they came up with the big turnover. They still had to go 47 yards, and they made it happen thanks in large part to our East Coast Trophies and Awards Player of the Game, Nathan Beamer. Huge touchdown reception as time expired.
Yeah, absolutely. A tremendous game. A lot of great performances from both ends of the field, but Nathan Beamer is the one that we are going to be left with. Nathan also confirmed that Caleb Walton has been the quarterback the whole time for the Steel City Stampede, so we apologize for that. Walton was in our roster as number 12, and Norton was number 5, so we apologize to that young man, but we plan to see the Steel City Stampede again in future games down the road, and if this is an indication of what we're in for this season, this one should be great. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We want to thank all of our sponsors once again during this pilot broadcast of the Jersey Bearcats and the AAL2. We will be here all year long. Joe, next week you and I will be in New Brunswick, New Jersey for Women's Professional Alliance Football, the Women's Football Alliance. It will be the Tri-State Warriors taking on the New York Wolves in their season opener, Division II action in the WFA. We are in for a real treat next week as well.
No question about it. A debut here with the AAL2 here on the PDF Sports Network. Another broadcast debut to look forward to next week. It's been a great night here at Warananco. And if this is what is in store for us throughout the summer here on PDF Sports Network, you won't want to miss a broadcast, and that certainly holds true next weekend.
All right, so that will do it for us. We want to thank everyone here at Warananco for having us. Of course, the Jersey Bearcats for having us as well. For Louis Matrone, Andrew Rotundo, and Joe Foreman, I'm David Pizzuto wishing you a very good night. Once again, your final score here from Warananco, the Steel City Stampede 34 and the Jersey Bearcats 32. We'll see you next week on the PDF Sports Network Game of the Week.